Hi there, my name is Jose. I'm your favorite sessions teacher, and I'm ready to give you some insight on how to fix the little problem you have with the document being the wrong size. Now, just to be clear about the size issue, the first thing we can see if I click here is that it's set to picas, which is good, but if I switch this to inches, you will see that this document is barely 2 inches wide, which is a problem. So I can go to File, Document Setup, and I can see, in fact, that this is 1.4 times 1.8 inches high. I can quickly change this by selecting, let's see, letter from page size, and OK. Of course, we have this little problem, which we can fix. No worries. Let's go to page 1, which is probably the easiest one to fix. What we want to do is select the various page elements that make up the cover. And you can do that by clicking and dragging, like so. Now all of the page elements are selected. We can move them around, for example, here. And we need to stretch them or scale them the width of the page. In order to do that, and since I have the group selected, I can use the Shift Command on Mac or Shift Control keys in Windows. So I will press Shift Command, select the corner handle, and simply scale, like so. It's very important that you don't let go of the Shift Command key until you first let go of the mouse button, okay? Now let's go to page 4 and repeat in order to make this completely clear. Again, Shift Command, click and drag, scale it to size. Perfect. Now we have a little problem here with some distortion of the image, which is not what we want. So I'm going to click here on the pasteboard, double click inside the image in order to select the image within the frame, and I can see in the control panel that this is 65% wide and 119% high, which is not ideal. It has to be equal. So what I'm going to do is simply select the first one and set it to 65, hit Tab, set this one to 65 and hit Enter. Perfect. Now that's half of the battle. Now what I need to do is click outside, once again select the frame, notice the frame is selected like so, and I can right click, go to Fitting, and select Fill Frame Proportionally. Perfect. That's all done. Now let's go to page 2 and 3 and do the same thing. Select everything, position, Shift Command, drag, and scale to size. Oops. Perfect. Now there is some tweaking to be done here, which I can do very easily by selecting the background image, scaling. Once again, I can right click, select Fitting, Fill Frame. Perfect. Okay, now that's looking pretty good. Don't mind the little pink background. This simply tells me that I don't have the font that you selected. That's okay, no big deal. Now we do have a little problem here. You did mention that you have some difficulties with the text threading feature, and the little plus sign tells me that there is some overset text, which is not usually a big deal, but this is a big red flag that we need to fix. So let's see what this is actually being threaded to. So I'm going to go to View, Extras, Show Text Threads. Now I can more easily find out that these are all threaded up to here, and then this is threaded to the back cover up to here, and this, I'm not sure what this is doing, so I'm just going to delete that. Okay, but I'm going to cheat a little bit because I did tinker with this and the styles, and I don't know exactly what's causing this little thing. So I'm going to have to cheat a little bit, okay? And in order for me to cheat, I'm going to select some of the text here. Go to Edit, Edit in Story Editor. Now I'm going to locate the first paragraph, which is this one, and then we start with the cities. So I'll select the cities. up to here. Don't know really what's all this empty space here, but I don't need it, so I'm just going to cut it like so. Do away with that empty return, carriage return, and close this window. Okay, so now I'm also going to just delete these boxes. I don't need them for now. Okay, now we have a little problem here, which is okay. But before I deal with that, I'm just going to paste. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I know what's going on. The keep options thing is on. Okay, that's okay. So, but before I do that, I'm just going to select all of the text and just select basic paragraph. And that's the problem. Let's see. Just gonna tinker with this. Take a look. Oh, that's what's causing this. We have a little leading thing. Little leading problem going on in here. So I'm just gonna select all of this. What is this? 17? Wow, it's too much. Let's make it, I don't know, 12 points. And I'm also going to make sure that this is, yep, auto leading. Perfect. Okay. So I could probably go back in here and apply the body content, is it maybe? No, that's not going to do it. Right? Let's edit this. And take a look at the, I'm just going to, for the sake of clarity, just select the font that I have. And 3 points, nope, that's not going to do it. We need to go to at least 12 points here. Okay, and that's more like it. Okay? Okay, so let's leave that there. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Oh, so that's what's going on. We got a bunch of empty return spaces here, which we don't need. We can see them more clearly if I go to type and show hidden characters. Okay, this will show me if I have empty returns like that. I'll delete those, and perfect. Okay, now that we fixed this little problem, I'm going to go back and grab my text tool, create some boxes like so. I'm just going to do this long box and then hit the right arrow key once, and there you go. So I created 2 linked text boxes. Perfect. Now I think I will select, cut, and paste in here. Okay, now that looks good. I'm going to do the same trick here for this area. So I'm just going to draw a frame, hit the right arrow key once and twice to create 3 columns. And then with the selection tool, I'm going to join these together like that. Looking good. Now let's go back and do some tweaking here in the paragraph style. Since you did use the main para, which is great. I love it when you use paragraph styles. Oh, it's actually body content. Okay, sorry about that. Let's edit. And let's take a look at what's going on here. So we got basic, we got minion with 12 points, and this is all good. Let's take a look at the indent spacing. We've got the center justify. Let's just do a left for now, okay? And I'm going to actually make these 14 points. Okay, preview. And that looks much better, okay? And another thing I need to do is assign subtitles. So this is a subtitle. Ooh, too small. So you know what? I'm going to just delete the subtitle and create a new one from scratch with the Option key selected or Alt in the Windows world. I will create one new paragraph called sub T, and it's not going to be based on anything, so I'm just going to select that, go to basic, and I'm just going to say 18 points, bold, italic. And how about we center this sucker? Let's see here, right here, center. Okay, that sounds like a plan. And now I'm going to apply it using the edit in story editor. Okay, now here's a little trick. I can select this little gadget here and arrange my documents like so. Okay, so now I can actually edit the text and see what's going on here to the left. So we said that we were just going to select the names of the city and apply the sub T. Okay, so here's Mexico and sub T. Here's New York and sub T. Here's I don't know, Rome and sub T. I feel like there's something missing here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. And sub T. Okay, so as we can see on the left, it's actually working, which is great, but we need to make sure that the keep options are turned on, and we can do that by editing, right-clicking here, so I can edit the paragraph style, select keep options, gonna move this over so I can see what's going on, and I'm going to go start paragraph in, say, next column. Perfect. Okay, and we're good to go. So that's looking pretty good, I have to say. Okay, let's close this. And finally, in order to make this production ready, I need to delete these little items. And this kind of looks ugly. I don't want to extend text frame over to the pasteboard, so I'm just gonna do this. Okay, tidy things up. And really, there's no reason to link these two together. So what I'm actually going to be doing is selecting this frame, choosing Edit in Story Editor. I'm going to go down to here. Don't know what these little boxes are, which I'm guessing it has to do with a font that I may not have. I'm not quite sure. So I'm just going to select that, cut, Command X, delete these. Okay, and I'm going to double click here on the output so I can unlink these two text boxes. Oops, I'm gonna have to zoom in here. So I want to double click here. Perfect. You see that? It's unlinked. So if I select this, there's no linking going on here. Select all of that and paste in here. Maybe center. Perfect. Maybe double click here so I can tidy things up, and make sure you use the margins, the guides, so that everything looks nice and centered. Of course, the telephone can't be like that, so maybe you want to do something like that. I don't know. It's up to you. You're the designer. I'm just a teacher. Okay, and I think we're almost done. The last thing I actually need to do is, where are the bleeds? There are no bleeds here, so we need to create those bleeds by going into Document Setup, selecting the bleed option, and adding a 0.25 inches of bleed. If you want to change your units of measurement to inches, know that it's as simple as right-clicking here and just selecting inches, okay? Now, as you learned in your first lesson, you need to extend these images all the way up to the bleed guides, okay? Make sure this prints correctly. Right here. And of course, we have a little problem that we need to fix by right-clicking, using the fitting options, fill frame proportionally, and we're good to go. Oops, we got a little problem here. And again, repeat with this last one. As you can see, I've spent a little bit of time on this, but you know what? It's worth it. One thing's done right, you've got to spend the time, as you've done so far. So here you go. I hope you will find this, again, I hope you will find this useful, and let me know if you have any questions, suggestions, or comments.